Welcome back, Wolfpack. Verlis here, and I have no idea what's going on anymore because the English Pokemon Sword and Shield DLC website has updated. We have all the new information now available, but the crazy thing is, the trailer is still unlisted, but you can get to the trailer through the website update, which has happened before the official upload on the official Pokemon YouTube channel. Shenanigans are going down, but what this means is we can check out the new information. So let's see all of this good stuff. We got Crown Tundra, we got newly discovered Pokemon, and this is the information I was waiting to see. So we have Regieleki and Reggie Drago. That was pretty free right there. We also have Gigantamax Venusaur, Gigantamax Blastoise. We have the Legendary Birds to go through, and then we have Galarian Slowbro with the ability Quick Draw. And then that means it's going to get the move Shell Sidearm. Can we scroll down? Oh, now we get to see the signature move. Okay, it all comes together, guys. The Pokemon Home data mine has not failed us at this time. It's all coming together. I think that's the best way of saying it. Shell Sidearm is a Poison-type special move in which this Pokemon fires poisonous liquid from the tip of the shelter attached to its arm. This move may poison the target. Moreover, it inflicts physical or special damage depending on which damage will target more. Or which will damage the target more. I like it. I actually really like that from a design standpoint. I'm surprised we don't have moves like that already, because we have Body Press and Foul Play, which change up what is used for damage calculation. We also have Psy Shock and Psy Strike, which flip the script. But then this, it just, I'm always doing more damage. That's insane. And this is probably very necessary because Chansey is going to be in the game and you need to have something that can hurt Chansey. So this can do that. It's not going to be like a weird toxic stall, anti-toxic stall shenanigans, and then it probably has a lot of other competitive implication as well if Slowbro is good. So it gets the poison psychic typing, and this should be a surprise to no one because with the announcement of the Pokemon Sword and Shield DLC, we got to see a little bit of what Galar Slowbro looks like, and it's kind of funny how all of this is coming together because purple, that's a color that represents poisoning, and then we got to see the right half of its body, so there's a lot of speculation that the left half is going to have the shelter, or maybe it has no shelter at all, but it looks like they're keeping the entire theme of this Pokemon consistent. So that comes together. The only thing that's missing is the Quick Draw ability, even though it kind of goes into the lore, and I like this. So, although this Pokemon is normally zoned out, facing off against strong opponents activates the stimulants in its body, sending them coursing through its nervous system, delivering a jolt. When this happens, Slowbro's expression sharpens with a speed that puts even the quickest reflexes to shame. So it's actually going to be like some kind of anime, just like, yeah, boom, and then like just quick draw, just shooting out the shelter. I think that's kind of cool. And when I saw the Quick Draw ability from the Pokemon Home data mine, it's like, alright, this is going to be some kind of comedic thing that is put on Slowbro, and it completely makes sense. Now, this is kind of interesting as well. It gained the poison type from the shock of Shelter's bite. I thought it was going to get the poison typing exclusively through poisoning itself on eating too much Galarica as a Slowpoke, but no, it's just kind of like related to that. A Shelter's bite set off a chemical reaction with the spices inside Galarian Slowpoke's body, causing Galarian Slowbro to gain the poison typing. So the lore of this Pokemon is pretty cool, and it looks like it's just going to be really solid competitively. Slowbro is already a competitive Pokemon, and since Galarian forms mostly just mix up the stats, everything else looks good. We have new ability. I'm guessing Quick Draw means when this Pokemon enters the battle, it's going to get a priority move. And I mean, if Gale Wings can exist in just always having flying priority, I think Quick Draw can give Slowbro a priority move on entry. Maybe a priority offensive move, because that kind of goes back in with the lore, even though we don't get exactly what Quick Draw does, but it does make sense for the Pokemon. So it's not like, oh, you come in on Quick Draw and then you get a free Iron defense and then you become unkillable. Nah, I just feel like it's going to be good offensively, and then maybe just as a bulk attacker, maybe with a little bit of setup. I mean, Calm Mind into like a Citrus Berry, then Belch. Probably one-shots everything, and then you set that up in Trick Room and you keep this Pokemon safe in doubles, or you just Trick Room yourself. You're Slowbro, and you still have Psychic. So it uses Trick Room, it takes a hit, Berry activates, and you start one-shotting on Belch. Except you don't want to do initial Trick Room because then that gets rid of the Quick Draw. Maybe that's Game Freak's fanciness going on right there. we're going to see how this Pokemon plays out, but it's pretty good. And then we got more to talk about. Reggie Drago, new ability, Dragon's Maw, and new signature move, Dragon Energy. So, this also debunks a ton of things that people have been talking about with the recent leaks, because the Pokemon Home data mine seems to have only given us new moves, new abilities, and new items from the Isle of Armor. People were thinking like, oh, it's already going into the Crown Tundra, and some of these things don't even make sense, but it actually kind of shows there's so much more new stuff for the Crown Tundra, and all the new things that we know about from the Pokemon Home data mine are still going to be inside the Isle of Armor. So it's just more gameplay and more features all around, which is pretty cool. So Dragon Energy. Actually, wait. No, if that's its signature move. We're now in like really fancy territory, actually. Because I was wondering if they were maybe using like a new signature dragon move to kind of tie into one of the new Pokemon. But no, it looks like Scale Shot is going to be one of the tutor moves on the Isle of Armor. And unless it's somewhere else on the Pokemon website that I haven't found yet, you know, we still don't really know the full details about what's happening here. So yeah, we're just getting a ton of new information about that stuff going on. So the more hit points the user has remaining, the higher the move's power. Alright, that's going to be really interesting, and it's going to be dependent on this Pokemon's speed, except Torkoal doesn't really care about that, so it's just a Dragon-type Eruption, and I think that's also really cool. I like that we're getting all of these new effects that also don't make it like signature to one type, or one move, or one specific Pokemon or something, so that's cool. And then that means, you know, Sinnoh remakes, Generation 9, more Pokemon are going to get access to this, because that's how it's been recently. Also, that looks really wacky. That's kind of insane. And that's also from the Hammerlock gates. So that's where that Pokemon is. Remember, everyone saw it, they're like, yo, what's this new Hammerlock Pokemon gonna be? And then it turned out to actually be from the Crown Tundra. Dang. And it's like the sealed Reggie Drago. Folklore says that the legendary Pokemon Regigigas tried to create a Pokemon from crystallized dragon energy, but ran out of crystals, was only able to complete the head. Okay, Regigigas is now terrifying, because it's actually trying to take over the world through elemental shenanigans. Alright. And then the ability Dragon's Maw. It looks like we don't know what that does. So we're getting information about the new moves. We don't know anything about the new ability. And it just kind of shows there's going to be an insane amount of stuff coming with the Crown Tundra. So we got Transistor. Got it. We're going to see what that does. And then we got the new move, Thunder Cage. So we actually see these in action in the trailer. And when I saw this, I thought that was like an attack animation. But no, it actually makes complete sense that it's going to be a signature move. So Thunder Cage doesn't only deal damage to opponents when it lands, it will also cause them to be trapped within the electrified cage, causing damage every turn for 4 to 5 turns, prevents them from fleeing or being swapped out. So electric type infestation, and it just sounds like that when this, yeah, it sounds like this is going to become a future tutor move in like future Pokemon generations and be really sick, or keeping it signature to this Pokemon means that you kind of get that extra competitive advantage by using it. So that's something. It says trapping opponents directly below it. So I guess that's singles if it says directly below instead of just all of them. Or maybe opponents plural, but sometimes opponents refers to one when you're talking about something in this kind of tense. I don't know. It's kind of weird. So researchers have determined that Regigigas' body is fitted with what appears to be special insulating equipment that does not conduct electricity. Some theorize that in ancient times, people tormented by Regigigas fitted the equipment onto the Pokemon to restrain its powers. Oh, so yeah, we got like rubber on it. And I guess that's because this thing was just completely out of control and has a bottomless supply of electricity. Its electric-type moves are said to pack the greatest power of any electric-type Pokemon. Makes sense because legendary Reggie shenanigans. Cool stuff. Alright, so now we go into the Gigantamax Blastoise. We get art for all of these Pokemon, which is pretty awesome as well. Don't know the weight because that's Gigantamax. Keeps Torn ability. There is that new thing where you can actually have like a Gigantamax soup. So will it also have the hidden ability? Even though I think you really want Torrent on this. You know, you take a big hit, you're in the red zone, and then you just one-shot things. So G-Max Cannonade. A cannon grenade. Game Freak is wacky. G-Max Cannonade doesn't just deal damage to opponent. When it hits, it will continue to deal damage for 4 turns to any Pokemon that isn't Water type and isn't Grass type. I was not expecting this, but it makes sense and I'm down with it. I was just hoping that all the Gigantamax would get the Pledge effects, because Charizard's is effectively the Pledge effect. That, you know, when you use the Grass Pledge and Fire Pledge, it creates like these searing flames. But with this, it just kind of has grass and water support and stuff like that. Okay. So it's just going to be, yeah, so it's effectively just that. Now, it also, you have to look at what you're giving up. Charizard gives up the Sunny Day, but it can still come with a Sunny Day setting Pokemon and get all the bonus damage and get Solar Power and shenanigans like that. Also, I guess it does make sense. These Pokemon would get their hidden abilities at some point through this method, or else it'd be unfair for Charizard to have its hidden ability. I think Blastoise loses out the most, because its hidden ability isn't that great. You don't have as good of water support as like just Torkoal Eruption and then doing insane damage next to Charizard. Like sometimes you just can't counterplay that level of damage unless you have like Anti-Weather or something. But then Venusaur, if it has Chlorophyll while it's doing this, it's also going to be fast and powerful, and it still synergizes in Sun. And grassy terrain isn't like as big as losing rain setting for itself and for the rest of your team. So it's just going to be on stats. We got a lot of stuff going on, and it's going to make things really interesting. So yeah, we got it, and then we get to see the gameplay. I think it's pretty cool. Like, we already know what the Pokemon looks like, but I like it. I like super swamped out on the Venusaur, and I think it's really cool just to have like the ultimate artillery Blastoise. This is the meme from that Mega Blastoise like reveal when everyone's just like, wait until Mega Blastoise, cannons everywhere, and then it's like, well, now it's actually like just a tank. It's beyond tank. It's the most insane thing in Pokemon. I like it. Galarian, Articuno, Psychic Flying. Wouldn't have guessed. Like, there was either one of two directions. They were either going to completely overhaul these Pokemon's appearances but keep their base typing, or they were also just going to use the different typing to reflect it. So instead of flying, electric, fire, we have psychic, fighting, and dark. Easy. So we got competitive ability, which is nice and is competitive as an ability. And all of them have signature moves, and Freezing Glare isn't here. So people are like, oh, Scorching Sands and Dual Wing Beat. People are like, oh, Dual Wing Beat is going to belong to Galarian Articuno because in the trailer it flaps its wings twice. That didn't make any sense. And we still have like all these new moves. There's still like new Pokemon to be revealed in the Olive Armor. There's a lot of stuff going on here, guys. So we got that. Let's go back to the Articuno. But we've also seen like the eye lasers. So Freezing Glare, Psychic type special move, which Pokemon attacks by firing Psychic power from its eyes may also leave target frozen. I mean, a Psychic that can freeze you is pretty good. Like that's just really good. I was wondering if it would kind of do like a freeze dry to where it has like a dual, or not freeze dry, body press mostly, to where it has like a dual effect where it's like, oh, it's a psychic and ice move at the same time. But I feel like that would be super trash offensively. Either way, that's pretty crazy. That's like super crazy. That's wild. That's insanity. But we got it. So a cruel, arrogant, legendary Pokemon. Yeah, it has that energy to me. Once every several decades, this migratory Pokemon appears in the Crown Tundra. For a long time, it was thought to be the same legendary Pokemon as Articuno previously discovered in other regions. Though cold and callous in personality, it moves in a highly refined manner. It keeps itself airborne through the constant use of psychic powers, almost never flapping its wing. That is arrogance. You are a bird. You flap, sir. That's it. End of story. Galarian Zapdos. Fighting Flying. Defiant ability. That's just wacky. Like, I guess. Yeah. So, it loves battling mighty opponents. I mean, it's pretty cool that we got to see the cutscene in the trailer of all these three fighting. Lightning that strikes from stone walls. In battle, this Pokemon overwhelms opponents with speedy movements and ferocious kicks using its naturally mighty legs. When it leaps down cliffs, rocky mountainsides, or high speed, yeah, thunderous kick. So, I thought it was going to paralyze. Like, you have one that freezes, paralyzed, burns. But this actually seems like really good. So it seems like it's going to be super fast. So it's just all about, like, speedy thickness. This fighting type physical move, Pokemon overwhelms target with a lightning-like movement before delivering a kick. Also lowers the target's defense stat. So if it's one of those 100 defense drops, like 100% defense drops, this Pokemon's going to crush it. Like 120 base speed, or however they're going to mix up the stats or something. What's a Legendary Bird's highest stat? So yeah, it's 125 on the highest stat, and then like 90s and 80s is still respectable. Like if it has an 85 special attack and then 90 hit point defense special defense, that's like naturally bulky. I'm saying 100 attack, and that's still going to two-shot everything, because you're dropping their defense. So you're doing damage while outspeeding them, you take a hit, you survive it, and then you do more damage. This thing could be good. This thing could be really good. Also, I turned off the page for it, but we got to see everything about it. So, Galarian Moltres, Dark Flying, it's Discount Evoltal, and Fiery Wrath. So, Dark-type move, may make the opponent flinch. And that looks awesome. That looks really cool. Yeah. So, I mean, everyone was down with this. When we first saw the reveals with trails, like, yo, these Pokemon look cool. And they don't feel like the Kanto version or like the original form of the Legendaries as much to me, but they look better to a degree. I think Zapdos is still better, and I really like Articuno. Like, Articuno's same. Zapdos is better. Moltres is, or Zapdos is better, but Galarian Moltres is better. So we kind of got the gambit, but I mean, it went from like Flaming Chicken to actually like an intimidating, edgy, cool-looking Pokemon. It doesn't let anything get close. It looks great in game. Yeah, I think that's some pretty good stuff. And that's going to be it for breaking down the new Pokemon. Did we get anything new on Gigantamax Urshifu, Unseen Fist, One Blow, G-Max Rapid Flow? Oh, I like that though. They can't call it. They should have called it One Punch. They had to call it One Punch. Come on, you could get a hold of the right IP usage. Everyone loves Pokemon. I'm pretty sure Oda has even... Yeah, Oda drew Meltan in one of the latest chapters. Come on. You can do it. So I know Oda isn't the maker of One Punch Man. What I'm saying is Japanese culture loves Pokemon. So, Water-type attack, used by Rapid Strike, G-Max Rapid Flow. They deal damage, even if target defends with Max Guard. That's not fair. Max Guard is Max Guard. There is no getting around Max Guard. It is the Gigantamax protection move. You can't just hit it. But yeah, it just crunches everything. So that's also going to be pretty spicy. If Urshifu is usable and competitive, like Silvally, a legendary Pokemon that can evolve, even though it's still a legendary Pokemon with weird classification, if all that stuff can happen, then we got some fun. So this is going to these are a lot of changes. The old Pokemon that are returning, all the new Pokemon we just covered, and then any other competitive changes means that like things are going to get crazy, and we still don't even know like all the new moves and effects. So fun stuff. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you have a nice day. Thank you very much for watching.